Okay. I don't know how long this stream is going to be because I'm just streaming a bit in the morning before like going to get some lunch or I don't know. We'll see. I was in the middle of doing some things the other day and I didn't finish them. So it's all about, so in this game for a long time, there's been a gameplay mechanic where, different characters can push different amounts of things around. It's a Sokoban game where you push blocks around. Um, But once we went 3D, that didn't extend to stacks of things. Like it didn't count up the weight of stacks of things. And so I put that in the other day. And then we're also having a limit of what you could put on your head, right? Um, like what you can carry around on your head. So that I put in a very simple version of, and then I'm realizing, oh yeah, it doesn't do everything we need it to do. So there are other gameplay effects that should affect what you could have on your head. Twitch said I had 13,000 viewers. I am sure that that was completely accurate. I believe Twitch. What was I going to search for? Oh, yeah, Strong's. Get Strong's plus push skill. That looks like what I want. Because this is like, how much can you push plus the effects of whatever beams you're in. It's a pretty simple function, right? One beam, one, two beams, two, etc. Okay, so what I'm going to do is say skill is this thinger. All right. Now we want the thief who cannot push to be able to hold one thing on her head. So we want to say if guy can pull it's like, do I want pulling to elevate you to be able to have many things if you're in a strong beam? I think the answer is maybe yes. All right. This means the thief will do many things on her hand when in a single strong beam. Okay. So if weight is greater than skill. Really? Okay, that was a very simple. Now we got to test this. Do I usually work weekends? I mean, I don't have that much of a structured um, way of doing things. I just kind of work whenever I want, which is most of the time. This weekend, I was just feeling like having a little break. Um, so I didn't really work that much yesterday, although I did a little bit. And then I may not very much today. But the fact that that's happening on the weekend is kind of a coincidence. It's kind of just like how I feel like this weekend. Did I find any cool games at the Steam Game Festival? I played Patrick's Parabox on stream, dude. Why the bad video quality? I don't know. It's the internet. What, do you think there's going to be good video quality on the internet? All right. Let's see what happens if our program ever starts up. You know, I just said that I don't feel like working that much today, but sometimes when I feel that way, I just want to like push back hard and do like a ton of things. So maybe after having a casual afternoon, we'll do something major in a stream tonight. I don't know. Depends on how I feel about it. Okay, so the thief. So if I push this on her head, she should get pancaked. Yeah. But if this character walks off first, well, firstly, should be able to walk there. Wow, this debug build is lagging. Okay, so this is good. Pancake that guy. Why is this? Dude, my computer is having a fit. Okay, that wasn't supposed to do that. Why did it do that? Here, let's simplify this. Let me just see what's going on. Service host. Great. There's a service host. Okay, whatever that is, I hope it's not doing anything important. It was hosting my service. Like at some point, you just have to tell the people who write the stupid software for your computer that enough is enough and this is not acceptable. And if that makes your computer stop working, then you just don't use computers anymore because they're garbage, right? That's just what you have to do at some point. All right. F camera. All right, well, now we know what the service host was doing. All right. Well, maybe this time it will host its service using less CPU. We'll see. Um, so what even, oh, I was gonna load this level and I was gonna clear out a bunch of this stuff. We don't need this many characters. It makes character switching a pain in the butt. So now I'm a little confused because I'm not sure why that didn't work. We may have to go to debugger because like, look, I can do this. That guy's fine. I can do this. This should squish this guy. Ugh, that's fine. Now this should go on the thief's head. Wait, did I say? Yeah. I don't understand that. What if it's a person? Okay, that's really weird. Okay, I think it's a different piece of code than the one I'm editing, killing this character. I think there's an older piece of code that like does some stuff. He hasn't done enough squats. Yeah, that could be. All right. Let's start. Our computer's working so well today. Why not start Visual Studio as well? I'm sure that'll make things better. So when people ask me how I like Visual Studio Code, which happens sometimes on the stream, and I say, what? I don't use it. Is this coming from people who don't know that there is a thing called Visual Studio and like all they know is Visual Studio Code? Is that like what that is? I always get confused by that. Like, I mean, they sound like the same thing, so, you know, but they're really not. VS Code is just very popular right now. Yep, for the next 6 months. VS Code is useful for debug. You don't get disassembly view. How is that? How is it useful for debugging to not get a disassembly view? Explain that to me. That game I played the other day thanked Visual Studio Code in the credits. Yeah, that's where we're at today. That's where we're at. Okay, so whoops, no, I didn't want that. I wanted do, so let's just see how we get here. I feel like it's through some other code. Yes. So, oh, this is happening because the block decided it wasn't supported. Okay, we'll figure that out because that's some rogue code. Put a breakpoint there. All right. So we're just going to jump back here. Oh, come on. Set next statement. Thank you. Emacs actually jack up my wrist. Not really. No. Okay, so now we're looking for Wait, why are we weighing? Oh, that's the base. Okay, so this get strongs plus push skill is sort of a duplicate. But this is dumb anyway. This is not how we want to do this. Hmm. I'm just going to comment this out for a second. This could be well wrong. In post move reevaluate. So the reason I don't want to be weighing this single object here is because you actually want to test the weight of the whole stack now, because we don't care about the single object anymore. And why do that in two places? So I want to know if I can get away with doing this. All right. No, that didn't work. Okay, well, don't expect that to work for anyone then. Oh, I'm testing the wrong thing. See, when you have something called entity and another thing called E, and those are different things, it's easy to get confused. Not one of those programmers I call modern C++ people. Modern C++ people call themselves that. That's not something that I made up. What do you do next? What would you do if you were in a young programmer's shoes? Just try to make things. Just try to make things that are good and high quality. That's all. Like if you're reading references like that you think are good, then great. Work with them and make stuff and see how it goes. And when things don't go well, try to figure out why they didn't go well and figure out how to fix that, right? Don't just say, well, it's fine, right? Like if it takes you 2 weeks to do something you thought would be easy, try to figure out why. Why did it take you 2 weeks when you thought it would be easy? And then see if you can. Dude, this camera service host is really not being good to us today. However, this is working correctly. Maybe you should make a game engine, but how do you know if you're doing it in the right way? You know you're doing it in the right way if it's easy to modify, if it's easy to make it do exactly what you want it to do at the quality level that you want, if it doesn't take 17 years to build, and if you can actually make a good game with it. If all those things are true, you're doing it the right way. Now, if you want to know if you're doing it the right way before you get to any of those things, then the answer is sorry, like the problem is we're living in a world where most of the advice is by people who haven't done that stuff. So you can't like follow anyone's advice. You have to do it. You put the stone on the ground above him? No. Hmm. Sorry about the terrible frame rate, everybody, but I'm using a computer in the year 2020, and that's just what happens, I guess. Ugh. This guy's too heavy, but if we swap him with someone else, oh well, we can't do that. It's the wrong guy. We swap him here. There we go. All right. Which laptop am I using? A very bad one. You hope it's not a ThinkPad. Oh, it's a ThinkPad. It's a ThinkPoop. Have fun with your ThinkPoop that you ordered. If you didn't buy those S models in ThinkPad, you're good to go. I disagree. This is not an S model. I should bring my Pop OS laptop. Okay, let's put a strong beam. So now there's a strong beam, and that means the thief should be able to carry this guy. Yes, but, well, okay. If the thief travels inside the strong beam, she's okay. But if she walks outside of it, okay. Well, that's kind of cute, actually. I forgot about being able to push. That's a good level. I kind of want to make a level out of this. But not yet. Let's just remind ourselves of that, though, because that's cute. Okay. Now I want to go fix a couple specific levels. So like this one is broken. If it'll ever load. This one is broken. Now I was gonna say maybe I could turn this dude into a thief. Oh wait. Maybe I can add strong beam here. Let's try this. Let's see if we can solve this level. Because that would actually make the level better. Okay. So we go there, get rid of that. This guy goes here. I don't know. I guess I want it here. This guy can pick that up and turn it into a strong beam. Okay. Bam. Yes. I think we're good now. So this guy can go back here. This is a weird level, but you know, this guy can endpoint out. Okay. So we didn't have to change the characters. Let's record. Let's record that. Whoops. We forgot some steps. No. Wait. I went too far. Stop. Wait, did I record? Do not push that down. go here, turn into a strong beam, go, go, go. So we never need the through beam. I think this level's broken, actually. Like I'm not sure why there's a through beam. Why is there a through beam? What would that even have been for? I guess he just needed something so that you could turn off the endpoint, but that's not even true. Like, oh, because the warrior can't push, or can he? Wait, let's just see what happens if we. Whoops. Okay, so can't do that yet. So like, if this is endpoint, yeah, he can't push that. Um, so maybe it was only there. Let's remove that, re-record, because we're going to have a different number of snaps. All right, so we're going to go there, there, bam. That's not that great of a level. I don't know. I feel like it's got, maybe it is. If I just knowing the answer, it's like, well, that's a lot of complication to do a simple thing. But actually, no, because I'm forgetting stuff. Like, I think it would be a little bit better if you have more freedom on the top. Because, like, for example, if I know I want to do something with this block, I have to push this block out of the way. And then that happens to be the point where the endpoint beam needs to terminate. And it's like, maybe it would be better if I had more room up here, you know? Anyway. Did I not? Wait, what? Did I not do that correctly? Why am I playing this level so many times? Recording saved. Okay. Play it back. Oh, I need a timed recording, guys. I was one day a long time ago gonna add a error message where if timed stuff happens and you weren't making a timed recording to like say that on the screen, but I didn't do that. So you get to watch me play this level 27 million times. There we go. Okay. Yeah, this is more like what the final game will look like, although this isn't particularly polished right now. Okay. Um, you know, I think it might be Benny test time. I certainly might have broken some things. Actually, before we Benny test, you couldn't tell the difference between orange and green beams. Well, that would mean you're colorblind, which is fine. Uh, we will have, yes, you will be able to tell them apart. It's not just that the color, it's not exactly that the colors aren't final, it's that the visual effects aren't final, and each beam has different effects. Okay, I want to do some tests with monsters for a second. I think right now this will kill monsters. Well, the monsters will kill monsters, but so I think this will kill this guy. No, it doesn't. Okay, interesting. And then does that mean this doesn't kill him either? I think this won't either because, whoops, we don't test strength. Yeah, so this probably won't kill this guy either. So I think I'm going to give these guys a strength of 1. Um, I don't think this will work on monsters. Oh, yes it does. Okay. Um, all right. So Would these levels work with multiplayer? The transaction system probably does most of what multiplayer would need. Yeah. You would you would end up with some weird extra things that you would have to deal with. Um, wait, oops. My hands are on the wrong keys. Why did that rotate? Oh, because he was rotating to attack for some reason? That's weird. Like, I get it. Interesting. Okay. Okay, that is maybe what we want to Benny test and see how much stuff we broke. Hmm. Yeah, so if you were going to do multiplayer, you would have a little bit of extra work to do, but hopefully it wouldn't be too bad because the system already handles multiple timed motions happening. Hmm. The blocks move onto the monster before the turn animation happens. Yes, but that's correct. That's correct because the monster doesn't turn until the dude is in the square next to him, which he isn't in that square until the blocks are on top of the monster. So that's actually all correct. We're just gonna see. Dude, this laptop is dragging today on any level with graphics. What's for breakfast? I don't know. I guess I'm gonna go somewhere in this town and try to get a brunch or something. I like this level. Where am I? Colorado Springs, Colorado. How different is developing for console than for a PC? It's not that different. It's better generally because you know what you're making. How do you decide input make mappings to make them feel natural? That's a very general question. I think that depends very much on the game that you're talking about. You don't have to buy 20 graphics cards to test. Haha, you think you can get away with only 20 graphics cards developing for PC? Funny joke. You made a very funny joke. Did I drive here? No. Why more than one? Because the only way to know if it's going to work is to try it on that particular graphics card. How do you manage that in the source code? Well, the code isn't 20 different pieces of code. It's just you have to deal with whatever weird driver bugs you see and stuff, you know? Is there not a minimum feature set that is guaranteed to work on all cards? There are things that are supposed to work on all cards, but they do not, in fact, work on all cards. And the more and more complicated that rendering gets, the more that happens. So what happens in reality is if you're a high budget game, then you call up your NVIDIA support guy and say, we're going to release this game in 3 months. Make sure all the graphics cards do it right. If you're an indie developer, you don't get that luxury. Is there a company out there you can pay to test your game on a buttload of specs? There are companies that do that, and you pretty much need to use them if you want to be serious about releasing a game on PC. That said, quality of how good the testing is varies tremendously, and sometimes you pay for testing that is not at all good. How do middleware game engines handle differences between GPUs? I don't understand the question. Like it's the same as what I just said. Yeah, we had people at NVIDIA helping us out when we shipped the Witness. Yeah. Um, we had much bigger problems on AMD cards where we didn't have that. And then they tried to say it was our fault because we didn't contact them 3 months in advance and say we're releasing this game. And it's like, dude, it's not like we know who to talk to there. And how messed up is your universe when this is what you're saying you're supposed to do to release a game? Now you know who to talk to at AMD. No, I have no idea. Mr. AMD. Excuse me, Mr. AMD. Can you make my video game work? I just thought of a level that I want to make before we go to brunch. Why not just abandon AMD? Because a lot of people have AMD graphics cards and want to play your game. For designing for solvers for complex levels like in this game, I don't know. I mean, if you're, oh, those are new. Whoa, that's new. If you're not talking about like basic A star kind of stuff, then you're talking about, um, or, A star plus like a classic chess style, tree of attempted moves, right? If you're not talking about that, then you're talking about, modern neural networky things. And I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't have good sources for you. Dude, AMD has pissed me off on multiple game releases, by the way. Oh my God. There is no solver in this game. There's no solver. Have you used modern neural networky things? I have not really. Pushes driver update result, braid not working anymore. Yes, that exactly happens. That exactly happens. And then it took weeks to get it fixed because they wouldn't. I could have pushed a patch to fix it immediately in the game if they would tell me what was wrong, but they wouldn't tell me what was wrong. And they just said, well, wait for 2 driver updates from now when it's fixed. And I'm just like, fuck you guys. It's so stupid. Do they fix our game through their driver? Well, no. They fix their driver to not suck so bad. Um, Usually. I mean, there have been historical cases when major games shipped and were wrong and got patched. I don't know if that happens to this day, but or not got patched, but the driver would recognize the game and just do something wacky. But like that's really not sustainable, and that actually was GPU vendors' fault as well, just more indirectly. And it kind of doesn't work when you have a more low level driver model like Vulkan or whatever. You know. How much farther behind do you think we would be technologically if our priority was to make progress only when everything previously done had absolutely no mistakes? We would be way further behind. I don't think that that is the right policy. However, what we're doing right now is also not the right policy, right? You need somewhere between those 2 points. Don't understand why there would be GPU driver bugs. Shader languages don't have many. What? Okay. All I would say is look at the actual rendering APIs, all of which they have to support now, and look at what those APIs do, and then learn about how graphics hardware works and what the performance problems are that they're trying to solve, and then you'll understand why they're bad. Don't I think that from Portal 2, Braid Arrow, we got more amount of good puzzle games? Are most of them not good enough to receive attention or something change the game industry that we don't see? Wow reaction to new upcoming puzzles. Um, I mean, there are a lot of bad puzzle games that get released. Some of the ones in the Steam game demo time that we played the other day, I think were pretty good. But it's just a different time. It's very noisy. It's very hard to get attention for your game. So even a good puzzle game is going to have a hard time getting attention. Um, it just is what it is. Boy, this computer is really dragging its butt today. Let's see if we can kill something besides service host. Like I'm not even running Firefox. That's usually the thing that takes a lot. Steam, well, let's get rid of Steam, dude. I don't know why the camera is suddenly taking a ton of CPU. I think that's just the, oh, anti-malware. Come on. That is what's killing us, guys. What is even going on? How do I stop this? And Cortana for some reason. Like what? What are you doing? Like this is why a modern computer is so stupid, guys. Like none of this stuff should even be here. All right. Oh, it just started itself again. Yeah, I have shut up 10 I guess a Windows update did some things. All right. Okay, wait, I saw Cortana stuff. Cortana. It says disable. I don't know, guys. Windows is pretty much over at this point. Like, I don't I don't know, guys. A good thing we're being protected from malware right now. I feel very safe and protected from malware. This is the speed of my computer in the year 2020, guys. I don't know where to frickin' find anything. You think the process is that Soko process taking 3 gigs? I have 32 gigs of RAM. Taking 1/10 of my physical RAM. 3 gigs is tiny for a modern computer. Do I know about Windows 10 LTSC? Yeah, I know about it. I just can't. Like, look, I pay for the operating system. I should get what I'm paying for, you know? Like, I shouldn't have to go through weird hoops to do all kinds of crap. Okay, where would I disable stuff here? I don't even know. Is there a search button? No. Administrative templates. Okay. I what is all like I'm trying to do some work. I don't want to spend 8 hours understanding why Microsoft puts the word Windows 27 times. Turn off Windows Defender. Enabled. Okay, that probably won't kill the active thing. Or will it? This requires a reboot. Well, we're not going to reboot right now. So, rip. This is the firewall. That is not what we want. That is the only thing that comes up. Maybe this. God, this UI is so terrible. It is managed by our organization. Great. So now that I've set that to off, I can't actually stop it from here. All right. All right, people. See if that helps. It does look like we're getting a more smooth frame rate. This level is supposed to be slow, or is known to be slow, frame rate wise. But it does look like we may have magnitude's the largest level. Spatially, probably yes. Well, the overworld might be bigger. I'm not sure. All right, so this level's just about over. All right, so now this is running more like I would expect. Like, I've got a program on my computer. It's using a tenth of my computer's RAM. My computer has, I forget how many physical CPUs. It's got like 6 or 8 physical CPUs, and we're only really using one of those. Like, it should run okay. You know what I'm saying? The Google marketing department forced them to put ad trackers in it. I would quit at that point. I would refuse to work on that. I would say marketing department, if you want ad trackers in this OS, you can program the ad trackers. Finally, it did go much faster once we killed that anti-malware thing. All right, so we have 20 fails. Which is not a surprise. Kind of like that level, but oh well. Wizard one. Oh, I did this one. Wait, why did this break? What? This might be just because of the he's got a wand on his head. That's why it broke. See, it's not falling. It's not falling on the guy. Let's go look at our code. And it's return false. Do we have defaults for these? Yeah. Well, and the function maybe pick up one. Yeah. There we go. There we go. All right. So Wizard 1, 2 are both fixed. Yeah, so this one is questionable. So the deal is stones used to kill dragons if you pulled one directly on top as opposed to it falling onto it. And um, that is not the case now. So in principle, this would work if we were one higher. I mean, I suppose, yeah, we'll see. Let me try this. Oh, because I can't. This one depended on dropping stuff on the monster as well, right? Yeah, I don't remember what the actual solution to this was, but I'm pretty sure it involved killing that dragon. If I don't kill the dragon, then we get roasted. let me try fixing this by moving all this up by 1. Whoops. No. I don't know if I like this as much, but oh, well, that definitely didn't work. Maybe I've got coronavirus breath disease. All right, so I don't like how much more annoying that is. Minefield. All right, I'm just going to send out an email about this because maybe we should fix the rest of these, maybe we should not. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say I turn these on by default. Okay. Since the game isn't too super broken, I have checked in a version with waste stacks of objects and way on head set to true. The thief gets a carrying capacity of 1 right now, or infinity if inside a strong beam. The pull, single pull is being counted the same as a single push for the purposes of how much you can have on your head. I also made a change where I also made a change to goblin and dragon carrying. They used to die if you pull a block onto them, but I decided to try letting them live. A block is already falling. A block that falls from height or a weight of more than 1 will kill them. This breaks a few more levels. If we don't like it, we can switch it back. Here's the current list of fails. Don't really like what it did to that level, but maybe it's worth it in terms of systemic consistency um, and what? And what? And ability to make puzzles with surprise and so forth. All right. So I'm going to send this email. Actually, first I'm going to check this in. Okay. Great. Then I'll open my email. There's momentum calculation. It's not so much momentum calculation as it's either falling or not. Stop the game running. Dude, this. All right. Okay. All right. I assume we will talk about that next week when we discuss things. Well, I think it's time for me to go get breakfast or something. There is Git LFS, which resolves binary assets. Well, why don't you use that to develop a game with 1 terabyte of files and let me know how it goes. Also with a team with artists on it who need to use your source control. And you show the file format for the levels. The levels are not a single file, so here's what it is. So we have this folder called levels. Now this is not how it's going to ship in the final game. All right, this is for development again, so that we can edit levels very easily. You can have multiple people working on the same level, even, right? So we have a folder called levels. Every level has a separate directory in here. So there's like, well, there's 1200 because this includes every temporary level that we didn't end up using, every draft of a level, whatever. So one of these has a bunch of files, and it's one per entity. and each entity is a simple text format that looks like this. So it's very easy to diff. If you edit some entities and other people edit other entities on the same level, but you don't have to edit the same entities at all, then that'll merge quietly and it's fine. Even if you edit different fields of the same entity, that's probably fine because it's very easy for the diff system to deal with this. The only time you get a conflict is when you edit the same fields of the same entities. Now that's not that many entities in that level because this is one of these draft levels with no graphics. If I go to a level that has more graphics, you'll see there's 1,000 entities in this level, or actually 1,000 files. About half of them are probably like lightmap files, so and paints. So there's hundreds of entities in this level, and then other supporting files. Now, when we ship the game, these will all be packed up into much more efficient storage than loose files. Is it more slow to load when every file is an entity? Yes, but not enough to really matter if you're on a PC with an SSD. Like our slowness when loading levels comes from stuff like you know, processing textures and compiling shaders and stuff like that, which we will have to deal with later. That said, you don't want to ship a game with a bunch of loose files like this. You want to pack them up. I think it would be a good idea to check in the feature separately from the toggle to default. Yeah, maybe, but whatever. That explains why Windows Defender was using so much CPU scanning all those files as they were loaded. Maybe. I mean, they're not executables though, so it probably shouldn't do anything. I don't know. Any other questions about what we did before I go off and actually eat some food in the world? I don't see any serious questions. All right. Thanks, people, for coming by. And who knows when the next stream will be? It might happen. It might not happen. See you later.